Good afternoon. Time to wrap it up this August 5th, 2015. Um, Started off early in the session thinking resistance was 2100, 2105. After the news hit and the market started up, we made it 2105, 2110, and eventually the market peaks out at 2107. We started off wanting to buy the 85, 90 area. We moved that up to 90 to 95, and the 90 to 95 area held, as did our sell zone. So pretty good day. Came into the market with nothing but a P. Bad news was good news. The market rallied off the ADP number that came in like about 30,000 less than the forecast. Market opens. All the volume goes to the buy side. 1, 2, 3. Rotations rallies up. Now we took this trade right here live in the room to show you this was a trade setup, and it really wasn't a very good setup. It wasn't quite our RTF, but you know, we're traders. We've got to get out there. We got to trade, and this would be temptation because we end up with a lower high. We lasted maybe 3 minutes on that trade, and why? Because we were trading against the trend. Right here, this B gave you a little bit. This retest failure right there to the long side was probably the best trade, followed by that B. Okay, we talked about this as a V-top and why it was a good trade. 3 impulses up. Nice trade here. Doesn't go anywhere. Scratch, triple top, retest failure. Goes a long way along with that S. And so the best trade took a while to set up. We ended up with 2 to 3 right shoulders off of a head and shoulders pattern that we talked about earlier, and it did produce the trade that we had anticipated when we were doing our research this morning. This is a legitimate trade to the long side. Goes nowhere. Scratch, maybe make a point. Right down here, again a higher low on this one. Scratch, make a point. A retest failure right here finally kicks in, and you can make a little bit of money on it. But the easiest trades were trading from the long side off the open to retest that high, and then this trade right here that set up when we'd broken were probably the 2 easiest trade to take throughout the day. So what do we see for tomorrow? That's great, Charlie. Talking about the past. What does it have to do with the future? So we're going to close. That's where we closed yesterday. We're going to have a higher low and a higher high. So we can sell failure to take out the highs, or we can buy into weakness just to retest that high right there. We do have some news tomorrow, jobless claims. That's the only news that'll probably affect the stock market. And they're looking for their standard 275 plus or minus. So the official call, the consensus is 273. So if the market were to close right here, right now, we'd be selling basically failure to take out and hold 2100. And in our second trade, it'd be 4 to 6. On the buy side, 90 to 92. 85, 87. So the major news tomorrow is jobless claims, and sometimes it's paid attention to and sometimes it's not. Because it's the only piece of news, tomorrow it'll probably get a little more attention than it has of late. The selling in the financials, continuation selling from Lockhart statements yesterday. We came in thinking that we had at least one short left for us in today's market. Had a weak close yesterday, so the idea was to find a place to sell it. We got favorable news off the ADP, but it still didn't prevent us from having a lower high and a lower low. So this screen, the F1 screen, says sell the note. Find a place to sell it. Definitely dealing with a B. We did have volume right here. As the day progressed, volume came down, volumes above time. So we know that we're rejecting prices below 20. So it is a B. The market was sold, this 28 area. So 27s to 31s, so on. If the E-mini crashes, we don't want that trade. 3 to 7, sell 2. On the buy side, 21 to 17, buy 1. 9 to 13, buy 2. There is the first Republican presidential debate tomorrow. I don't think that will hold the market in check or have much to do with it, but Jeb Bush and Trump are at the top of the polls, and how they interact together could be something the market's interested in. Wall Street's favorite candidates are Hillary Clinton and Jeb Bush as it stands right now, and you ask why you end up sending money to both political parties. Ask Bill Gates what happened to him when he wasn't sending money back to the government. It's a way of buying off the government and keeping them off your back. And it's also the avenue for crony capitalism, where you pay to play. So one, you send money to the parties so they don't come after your backside when they're in power, and the other one, you pay to play to have access to 25% of the GDP. And if you're a large Fortune 500 company, it's pretty hard to ignore the fact that government, state, county, federal, upwards of 40% of the GDP goes to those three entities right now. So if you're a businessman, you can't ignore it. What's the businessman's favorite form of government? Fascism. Private ownership with government control. If you make it into the club, you're not going to get kicked out of the club. And it's a hell of a lot easier to buy off a politician than it is to innovate and come up with a new product. Okay, 55.08 to 12, pretty good support. Last rotation down stopped at 19. Got volume at 15. Got the bottom of value at 13. So the E-mini sells, we're going to have to pay up, but right now we're going to start off trying to buy 9s to 13s because of the extra volatility in this contract, and then 1 to 5 for buy 2. On the sell side, 27 to 31, then 7 to 11. Gold, my goodness, what are we going to do with that one? As quiet as it's been, it's trying to sell. Helped along by central bank bombing the market on a regular basis. Yeah, retail account buying. I was looking at some of the premiums in silver coins with my neighborhood. Some premiums are as high as 30%. Didn't find one of them that was less than about 10%, and back in the old days it was about 5%. So people are still willing to pay for coins, not necessarily as an investment, but have some protection in case the bottom falls out of our economy. And of course, if you want something that's easier to spend, it's going to be silver. So right here we are at 80.82. That is support. Buy 1. 75.77, buy 2. The market is pointed lower. It is trying to sell. Sell number 1, 88 to 90. 93 to 95 for sell 2. And we'll see what happens. We haven't had a lot of volatility to work with in this contract. It's been tougher to trade. Hopefully Eric down in South Carolina has figured out how to survive on a day where we, $5 to $10 happens to be it, as opposed to $10 to $40. That volatility makes a huge difference. I mean, anything works in these really, really high volatile markets. You just have the courage to have the courage to put on the trade. When they start taking the range around you, then trade location becomes what you have to capture and secure. And we all know how easy that is to do. Okay, crude lower high Lower low, outside day. But this market is headed lower, so pretty clean break here at 46.75. We spent 2 days below 43.50. 3 days at 43.75. So 43.50, 42.50 is probably pretty damn good support. Everybody pretty much expects us to take this out on this rundown, and the reason for that is Iranian oil. And the release of this $150 billion that allows Iran to come back in and start reworking their oil fields in addition to spending money in other areas. So this market's definitely trying to trade lower, and you'd roll K and you'd roll J back into that, and there's your move out of the middle. There was your move out of the middle. Here's your move out of the middle. It's not as accurate on this screen as it is on the F2 because of the range. That's a 50-cent increment. So definitely have a B, and the market's definitely pointed lower, and we really haven't rejected prices in a meaningful way. Those supports getting stops below the overnight session low, 75.50, buy 1, buy 2, 44, 44 and a quarter. On the sell side, maybe stops up here above J. So 50 to 75, sell 1. Might have to engage the market at 45 and a quarter. It's hard to say. And then 46, 46 and a quarter for sell 2. If we have a pretty weak market, this 50 area ought to hold up pretty well for us, 25 to 50. We're going to put a question mark at 45.25. The euro. We always like the short side of the euro. That doesn't mean it can't rally for several days, and it has. But the thing that we have going for us is the fact that the European Union and the European Central Bank want a lower euro. And why do they want a lower euro? So they can export goodies outside of the European Union. And so we're getting lower highs. We got pretty good support down here in this 18 and a quarter, 18.50. So this market lower high, lower low says find a place to sell it. So rejected prices below 65. Didn't take out this low, so this market is trying to trade higher. So we got this D period low at 109.50. We got this Z period high at 109.21. We wanted our number 2 sell point today was 25, so we'll make 25 sell 1, 50 sell 2. On the buy side, 65 to 75 buy 1, and then 40 to 50 buy 2. And that's it for August the 5th, 2015. You all have a great evening. I will see you bright and early in the morning. The hot temperatures and humidity have returned. We'll be pushing 100 once again tomorrow with humidity to match, with dew points in the 70s. So, like being east of the Mississippi, we know what the world east of the Mississippi feels like. Y'all have a great evening. I'm out of here.